We all are concerned that we, want to be sure that we're giving people the maximum opportunity to participate in a healthy way in this. It's frustrating to see that people are not exercising the civic responsibility when we've done so many people who have not paid dues since they voted in December. They don't know where the money comes from to do this printing and to make those phone calls and to do everything we pay. But we're here holding ourselves hostage because they're not here. It's a concern which I appreciate and I'm very open to embracing. But my primary concern is that we do not use this as an opportunity to do nothing. This is the primary reason why we still have that constitution, which is a thorn in the side of this community. I agree with Mr. Russell, the Constitution is not the cure-all to our problems, but a governing document is a very, very important document that can either set the organization on a path of growth or on a path of continuous stagnation. We've made some headroads, we've got some things going that this community can continue to benefit from if we get our act together, because the funding we're getting that's in the pipeline, nobody's going to write a check and send it to you and say this is what we have for you. You have to perform certain responsibilities, and the organization has to be effective enough to perform those responsibilities and not get embroiled in some of the issues that we've been embroiled in historically. So I do not want this to be a recipe for delay and inaction, and that's my concern. So if we wanted to ask for time, Georgia is a very important member of this community. All the people are talking, we want to all be together that yes, we've given this our best, and we want to take everybody here at the word that let's give it our best shot. But to echo what the chairman is saying, I don't want us saying we got to have a certain number of people here. Okay, that's not going to be the solution. When George Ward ran for president of OLM, this community was very big, but I think only 60 people were in that meeting. Okay, when we usually have meetings, it's between 20 and 60 people. Historically, for OLM, if you have 100 people in the meeting, then we keep going on, so they want to come and see the graduate fight. Yes.
Our community is not a reading community. You get one flyer to them, it's in their hand, and they ask you what date.
Because this document. Now, my question is, what if we come to this section, because my understanding is the section will be with the Constitution Committee, which I'm a part of. My question is, what if we come to this section and you got 5 people in this room, 2 people in this room, what next? I ask that question because when we wrote the document, we presented it to the executive. The executive reviewed it and had a suggestion and sent it back to us. It went back to the board. We met with all members of the board of directors of OLM. We sat there, we went from page 1 all the way to the end of the document. That's the document that is before you now. And when we called a meeting here the other day, the same suggestion that Mr. Russell brought up was brought up. Okay, I think if I remember well, it was Mr. Honeygaddy that brought that up. And we said, okay, let's send word out to county heads, church leaders, and other stakeholders in the community. We did that. We came here to this building, this particular building, and we sat here for 2 hours. And if I'm not mistaken, even 4 people showed up. Now, my question is, what if we go back to that, to set up that process where we're going to meet with, and people come in and then we have sections. What if 4 people show up, 3 people show up? What do we do next?
Here, that is, we ask you to postpone this, Mr. Russell regularly suggested a month from now. Okay, you're trying to do like, parse it through by saying 2 weeks of education, then the next 2 weeks election. Where I find it a little bit problematic is we continue to talk about this 10%, and when you start attaching a numerical value to the cutoff point, then my question to you would be, what if we say, okay, August 26th is the time that we want to meet, and you don't have the 100 people that we talk about.
50 women,
And
okay.
50 women done, so that's what I'm saying, excuse me. Excuse me. So what I'm saying here is that let us look at the cutoff point versus attaching a numerical value. So that we can have to say, this is it. If whether like 10 people will be there, we'll make the decision.
The problem with OLM, we all agree is the Constitution. The executive has reviewed this document, yes. The board of directors made a suggestion, made changes. What would be the purpose of a failed referendum to this community? Wouldn't it be putting us right back to where we're coming from?